volume11magazine.com. Look, I can't even fucking speak this morning.
Really? Goes with the hair.
Shut up. No Need for a Name podcast. In the studio, we got Sean. We refer to him as the boss.
The boss.
The boss.
The boss.
The big cheese.
And we got and the what? And finally, this fucking guy right here. Thank you, sir, for bringing in my intro music this morning. I appreciate it.
I sent it to you.
Well, come on. Eli from First Class Trash, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I gave you a little bit of shit earlier the past couple of weeks.
It's true.
Yeah. You're supposed to speak up, dude.
But you're the one that looks like the Chia Pet hair, man.
Yeah, but you know what? I have what they call a face for radio.
That's true.
And hair for radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, my hair's growing out though, but it grows quick. But anyway, we're gonna get right into a song right here.
Let's wait before we do that. Who am I?
Really? You need a fucking introduction.
Well, everyone else got an intro. You introed yourself. I didn't get anything.
Did I intro myself?
I believe. Well, you might as well.
He didn't. Actually.
He didn't. Okay. Right now, Big Mex is looking at me.
Yes, and I'm looking at Jamie.
I see stars.
Jesus Christ, this guy with the attitude already. Didn't we talk about radio people with attitudes? I really don't like your attitude.
Radio etiquette?
All right, we're going to get into this first song. Who are we playing?
I think we're going to go ahead and play Lovesick Radio, band out of Ohio that relocated to Vegas a couple years ago.
All right, Lovesick Radio right here on No Name. Look, God damn it. No Need for a Name podcast.
No need for another DJ.
Yeah, there you go.
My mind state irate, driving 90 highway, flying right beside me. Looking in my rear view, my city is in ruins. Never had a family, instead I married music. Turn it up, this is all I got, for the love of God. Everybody prays for the day that they get a spot. I don't want a spot, I just want a shot at a life worth living with what I got. On me, that's all the money. On me, that's all the fame. On me, at the beginning is the one thing I can't change. On me, not 'cause I want to. On me, at the end of the day. On me, every morning is the one thing I can't change. Life dreams, pipe dreams, it can be exciting. I could wrestle devils, play with metal and lightning. I wanna run with the bulls, but as a bull, trample all the people and turn into vegetables. Turn it up, this is all I got. Music is my weapon and I gotta take a shot. I'm me, I bleed, I'm everything you see. Graffiti my name in history. I'm me, that's all the money. I'm me, that's all the fame. I'm me, at the beginning is the one thing I can't change. I'm me, not 'cause I want to. I'm me at the end of the day. I'm me, every morning is the one thing I can't change. All that I've done, the places I've been. Now when I ride, I slide right in. The path that I took, so much in the way. Now that I'm here to say, I'm me, that's all the money. I'm me, that's all the fame. I'm me, at the beginning is the one thing I can't change. I'm me, that's all the money. I'm me, that's all the fame. I'm me, at the beginning is the one thing I can't change. I'm me, not 'cause I want to. I'm me at the end of the day. I'm me, every morning is the one thing I can't change.
No Need for a Name podcast on volume11magazine.com. That group was called Lovesick Radio. They are out of Las Vegas. You can go to Facebook. You can look them up. The name of the song was called I'm Me. And yeah, definitely a great band. So definitely check them out. Speaking of music, Breaking Benjamin has another album coming out.
Finally.
Finally, after what, 4 or 5 years, something like that?
It might even be longer than that.
Yeah, the name of the new album is called Dark Before Dawn. You can go to their Facebook page and check out a snippet of the new song called Failure. And tomorrow, the album will be available for pre-order, and you can automatically get the download for free.
Sounds good. I think
Which
the
is
album
kinda
comes
weird.
out.
Go ahead.
Album comes out in June, I think.
Something like that, yeah. Which is kind of weird. But if you buy the album, so you're not really getting it for free. You're paying for it
Well, that's kind of the common thing now. Usually you'll get 1 or 2 tracks off an album if you pre-order
immediately.
it. Yeah, I mean, bands are doing that. They're not saving anything. They'll release half the album before it actually comes out these days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. What do you have you heard anything of it?
I will refrain from comments about Breaking Benjamin.
What? No, go ahead.
You know what? They're really cool. Like I'm actually more excited about this release just because they do have Rob Graves and they have a killer lineup behind them. But just it's never been my thing. I think I was always impartial against them because I had never heard of them before. And everyone, when my first band that I was in was like, "You guys sound like Breaking Benjamin." I'm like, who the fuck is this band? Fuck this band, you know. So they never really had a chance with me.
And who's Rob? I don't know who Rob Graves is. Who's Rob Graves?
He's the guy behind. Is it Jason Roush or Rob Graves?
I think it's Jason.
I'm getting all confused. Jason Roush, the guy behind Red, that was kind of like the brains with that. He
Oh,
did all
with
the,
Red.
yeah, and he did like
Okay.
the production for like Love and Death and Red and
And you also have Keith Wallen from
Yeah, from
Adelita's
Adelita's.
Way.
Wow.
And
he used to be. He was the guy
used
from
to be
Copper, right?
in Copper,
Yeah.
Adelita's Way, and
So
he was
Keith
a
is in
huge part.
Breaking Benjamin
Yeah,
now?
he's
Yeah.
their lead guitarist.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty huge. That's where I'm really interested because Keith's a good guy, and it's nice he got a really big break this time around.
That's good.
Yeah, and Jason is just like the kingpin of making really huge rock records. Like, he's got Epic in his back pocket.
Okay.
I know you hate the word epic,
I hate
Big
the
Mex.
word epic.
It's
I
all right.
I couldn't think of anything else.
It's all right.
Okay.
Monumental.
Boom.
Thank you.
From now on, you know what? All
Gargantuan slabs of rock.
there you go. Even better.
Prime cuts.
You're a fucking vocalist, bro. Come up with a better word than epic.
I'm drunk, man.
What are your thoughts? Don't sit back and
Wake
away
up,
from the
Sean.
mic
Come on.
because your mic is hot right now, dude. Your mic is on. You
I got a
gotta
cough
have.
drop in my mouth, man. I'm afraid it's going to pick up.
What's
me
in your
chewing on
mouth?
this. A cock drop.
A throat sausage or
Sean,
lozenge.
Sean is he works nights, so this is not his time of the day. Eli is use the loose term rock star, so he's not really good this time of the day either.
Well, actually, I typically move, or as I like to say, a relocation engineer, and so I'm typically up this time. It was a long night.
Oh yeah,
And it was an early morning.
you guys, real quick before I go anywhere, you guys have a show coming up, right?
Yeah, we're doing next month, March 17th at Fremont Country Club with Otherwise.
That's a good one. And then
Then we're doing the 23rd with Mad Life and Cage 9 at Vamp.
there you go. Any other shows?
Not right now. We're
No?
still we're kind of putting our plans together. We're trying to throw all our eggs in to go into Mexico and Canada later this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna let you back in?
Will they let me back out? That's the big question.
No, will they let you back in coming back?
That's the biggest question.
Well, if it works out in Mexico, he'll just stay. It's not a big
What,
deal.
Mexican or Canadian or something or what?
No, I'm a mutt.
Mutt? A little
Yeah.
bit of everything, huh?
Nothing. No allegiance to pledge. Whoever's holiday it is, that's drinking holiday, is what I claim.
Yeah, so,
Oh, yeah, I'm Irish. Don't
so
worry.
your Irish just passed, right? And then
Yeah.
the Mexican's coming up. Okay. Are you into comic books at all?
Yes and no. I never read them, but I looked at them. I used to draw comic books a lot. My cousin was a huge collector. He's got a massive comic book collection.
Did you hear the story about DC Comics pulling the variant cover
I did.
of Batgirl?
It wasn't the one that had to do with what was it, Kill Threat?
The Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke. There we go.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with the Killing Joke, the Joker does a home invasion on Barbara Gordon. He basically sexually assaults her, takes pictures of her, shoots her, which eventually paralyzes her, and then he shows the pictures to her father, who is Commissioner Gordon. So there was a lot of heat behind all that stuff, and there was a variant cover for the new Batgirl, and it was a picture of the Joker holding a gun. And some people say it's down the middle of her boobs, so, whatever. You know, those are just the ones that are nitpicky and shit like that. But the DC Comics and the artist, I can't remember his last name is Albuquerque. That's all I remember. Decided we're gonna pull the cover. So I mean, what do you think about art like that? I mean,
Provocative art?
provocative art. I mean, do you think it should be available? Do you think it should be pulled, depending on?
Well, I don't know. I think I know comic books aren't just designed and dedicated to kids, but if it's freedom of speech, I don't know. Does that fall into play? Being a creative artist?
Real quick, I'm sorry. It's not really provocative art because there's nothing.
There's no
nothing
nudity or
provocative.
none of
There's
that.
no nudity, nothing to it. But it's the content behind the artwork. It's what the issue is.
Well, I mean, you can put on what is it? Any of these police shows or dramas that are on right now, and catch probably any of that in any of the stories.
Well, I think two things. One is it's a reference to a past thing that no one would know unless they're a fan of the previous comics. So it's like, if you're going to get mad at something, why wouldn't you still be railing on the whole thing with the past comics that he's referencing? He's just referencing different parts of the Joker's like legacy and these covers, as far as what I read. But the other thing too is like you got to wonder if there was Twitter, would that guy have ever been able to pull off the elephant dung painting that was like the huge thing in San Francisco like 10 years ago?
Was it the same guy?
No, I'm just saying like the
Oh.
concept, like if Twitter was around back then, would that guy have even had a chance, or would they've been like, oh, there's an uproar on Twitter, we got to pull this down? Like to me, if I was DC, I'd be like, there's an uproar, we're going to sell twice as many.
Well, I mean, I think that's what it's all about. And I mean, you gotta ask yourself, okay, it's not a painting. It's not just a picture you hang on your wall. It's actually a cover to a comic book. What is that representing? They're representing essentially what you might find in that comic book or in past issues. I think that's the bigger deal. Nobody's going to make you buy that issue. You probably are already familiar with it. Now they have 10 million people who want to find that issue somehow or have it released that never would have thought about it otherwise. So there's marketing there.
That's true, but I was also reading that they're like the Batgirl character has gone through so many like ups and downs and like ins and outs and stuff like that. Like she just came out recently as being a lesbian in one of the newer editions. They're saying that there's no reason for this cover to. This has nothing a part of that story. Like the story that's in the actual book has no connection with the cover.
Yeah, but isn't he made like 25 covers for the Joker's 70th anniversary as a character?
I have no.
As far as I know, they made 25 different covers and having to do with the Joker's 70th year or whatever, and that was just one of them. He referenced a lot of different things from the Joker's. Whatever.
Oh, is that what? Okay.
Yeah, and that was what his defense was. That this was like he was like, I made a bunch of them,
Like an homage.
and he
It
was
was
like,
greatest- it was
and he
greatest
was-
hits.
and
Yeah,
he
it was
was a
greatest
huge fan of the Killing Joke.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
that's-
people were
yeah.
a huge fan of the Killing Joke, despite its content and
Well,
what it was
didn't
about.
I mean? Is that so? Barbara Gordon, didn't she turn into the Oracle because of getting shot and being in a wheelchair and all that stuff?
I think so.
So, I mean,
because
that's-
she was paralyzed. Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
that's
she was
a
paralyzed.
I get
huge
so
deal.
confused because like I would read comics occasionally at my cousin's house. So like years would go by, and I'd be like, "Wait, who's Nightwing again? This is Robin? No, it's Batman."
And they reinvent it every few years. So I mean,
Yeah.
you really have to be up on your game. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, so switching gears. Are you a fan of Annihilator? You remember Annihilator, right?
Band?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Jeff Waters just came out recently, and he said that metal needs the next Metallica. Now,
And it's not Avenged Sevenfold.
We've touched upon this before,
yes,
haven't we?
we've talked about this. I don't know if I agree with Metallica per se. Maybe the beginning of Metallica. You know, Metallica's early years. I don't think Metallica right now.
You don't need another band that's another band. You need something completely new.
I don't think he meant it in the way of
He needs a
like,
massive.
Yeah, you need that worldwide movement where like this band ushers in, opens the door to a new era. Because I mean that was the whole thing with the whole Black Album era. Metallica came, Godsmack came. You know, even furthered Alice in Chains, and like it opened the door to the heavy rock in the mainstream, which kind of then you can argue about it. Kind of opened doors with like Soundgarden, whatever, everything that had the same kind of vibe. But as far as there being another Metallica, A, I don't think it's possible. B, I don't think it would be healthy because people are too. Everyone likes to say they listen to everything.
They don't.
Of course not. Anytime anyone tells you they listen to everything, they listen to hip hop, country, and EDM.
Or
Top
pop,
40.
Or top 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's all the
everything
same.
on top 40.
Well, that's the thing is, hip hop, R&B, and pop all merged into one. It just matters. It's the same track. If this guy sings on it, it's an R&B song. If a white guy sings on it, it's a pop song. If a black girl sings on it, it's R&B. And if a black dude speaks over it, then it's a rap song, but it's the same track. And then now country is doing it too.
I was just gonna say that.
Country now it's the same song, but they swap out clubs for tailgating and
Well, it's
whatever.
all white people except for Darius Rucker.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they say words like Jack Daniels and sweet tea, so people are like, oh, this is Southern and shit.
Well, I heard. I think it was Luke Bryan had a song where he says he's listening to T-Pain.
Yeah,
I'm like, did he just say he's listening to T-Pain? So I googled it. And I looked it up. I was
and
like,
Kanye.
holy crap! That's what he said.
I'm covering that song, by the way.
What song?
That's My Kind of Night.
Oh, really?
By Luke Bryan. Yeah.
Oh, is that gonna be like your what's that, Danger Zone? Your next Danger
Well, yeah.
Zone?
Well, what we're doing is we want to do a bunch of covers. We have like a list of covers we want to do, but we're gonna start a separate entity. Well, I want to still, like, as far as building your own brand, I want it to be at least, related to each other. But I don't want to just do a shit ton of covers. But we're doing like the Soggy Bottom Boys and Wasp and
Which one from Wasp?
Fuck Like a Beast.
Oh, nice.
And
Blind in Texas is always good too.
that was the second choice.
Yeah.
But then we're going with some Bruno Mars. Who else? Fuck, dude, that list is long.
Yeah. Nice.
Everything we're just gonna try to hit all the corners. I think we're gonna do some Hank.
Hank 3 or
Yeah,
Hank
Sly and the
6?
Family. Well, I think it's Hank 2. I think is what
Hank
we're looking.
Jr.?
Hank Jr. Yeah, and then Sly and the Family Stone. We're going all over the place. with
Nice.
it. Yeah.
Good for you. I wanna be able to hear that one. Bring some in. We'll play it here. So let's get into another song. Yeah.
Yeah, let's check out Pistol Shot Gypsy. This is a song called Hey Man from their album Better Late Than Never. These guys are out of Providence, Rhode Island. They've been around for a long time, 2007, and pretty much just classic rock with a modern edge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks to Six for getting this for us too.
Thank you, Six.
Yes. He's back east. So let's get into it.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I can hear what you say to me. Hey man, are you looking to me? Don't go looking
right. Volume 11 magazine right here with Big Mex. I'm Jamie. We're here with Eli from First Class Trash and Sean, the boss.
He really doesn't like that. He feels really uncomfortable saying that.
Okay, the Hoss. How about the Hoss?
No, the
Sean,
boss.
the Hoss.
No, we're gonna call he's
the boss.
Yeah, I'll take
Big
the boss.
cheese.
Anything that gets done around here has to go to this guy. Right?
That is true. That is true. He is the big boss.
Would you prefer the term gatekeeper?
Ooh, I like that.
Gatekeeper?
The gatekeeper.
You said gatekeeper
Look
or
at you, bro.
gatekeeper?
Look at you.
Either way, it works.
Either way.
Either way, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. We just listened to Pistol Shot Gypsy song called "Hey Man."
So we touched on Jeff Waters from Annihilator talking about metal needs an ex-Metallica. I sometimes on the drive home zone out and think about how would what can be done to have another movement. And I think about this on a regular basis because there's a lot of shit.
Shut down the internet, probably.
Yeah, because that's why no band has made that giant leap. Is at this point you have to conquer Twitter, Instagram, Vine, Snapchat, YouTube, Reverb Nation. But then you got to try to get someone to a show.
And you have to get a porno tape made, a homemade porno tape.
I tried that.
Oh,
they
that's
didn't like
something-
it.
Nobody's done that for a little while now.
What, making a porno tape? We're not
Yeah.
going to start right now. So
Don't we
even-
have somebody?
don't
Don't we
even
have
try.
somebody that just like?
Oh, you
us?
know what? Yeah. For those of you porno connoisseurs, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Tory Lane.
Tory Lane.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. I was watching some of her movies yesterday, some of her greatest hits, and the language on that mouth is pretty awesome.
So we could have a sex tape. Just saying.
I can't. I'm not going to. I'm good.
We can find somebody. Okay.
Yeah, we can find somebody.
All right. So Tori, if you're listening, if
I
you're
have the
interested-
body for a radio mixtape.
That'd be the next newsletter sign
Out
up.
of us four,
winner.
who's down? Because I can probably arrange this. It's gonna have to be you, bro.
I
Oh,
have,
I'm
I
definitely
have
not.
several. If we wanted to talk about other bands, I have some sex tapes involving some people in other bands.
Yeah.
But we will.
Well, then
we will leave that
We'll talk
alone.
that off the air.
So yeah, but so is that kind of it? I mean, just the shutdown of internet would
You're gonna need people to actually care. I think that's the biggest thing. Is it's actually not really a band's thing. Is that people? I think the age of social media, people follow things. They're not fans of it. Like they expect to be given it instead of like when I was growing up in Southern California. My brothers were all into ska punk. I was into '80s thrash metal and shit. So I had a really hard time finding anything. You're talking before eBay or whatever. So it's like I would ride my bikes to the outskirts, go to every pawn shop, go to every, trying to pick up cassettes and CDs or whatever.
That's awesome.
And it was so hard, but it's like, that's the thing is you look at people now and people come to me like, oh, I didn't know you guys have had 6 shows since I saw you last. Why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, for real?
Well, think of all the work that it once took to find music. Okay, you hear about a band called Annihilator. Let's use Annihilator. I heard about Annihilator. Back then, how would you find out about Annihilator? You'd have to go to the music store. You would have to buy their album. You might go to somewhere else to get Metal Edge magazine
Headbangers Ball.
or Headbangers Ball. It took work, and you want reward for that work, and that made the band become more popular and actually become a movement. Now, if I want to hear Annihilator, I have a billion different ways to
Different
hear the
outlets,
whole
yeah.
album. I can download their whole catalog. I can see every picture they've ever done. I can watch every video, and I'm sitting in my chair in my underwear.
You know what? You finally have brought light on, to me anyway, as far as that, because I mean, I used to go to the 7-Elevens and steal Hit Parader magazines, steal Circus magazines. Never stole any.
You stole a lot, didn't you?
No, I didn't steal the cassettes or albums because those are just
They had
those
those
are way
little-
too risky.
Little alarms
Yeah.
on them. Yeah.
So
It's a shame because Circus Magazine's not even around anymore.
no, it's not. Rip.
Nor Hit Parader.
Rip was
Yeah,
another
all
one
the
that I
good
got.
ones, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it just dawned on me that I would have to go do these things to get that information. If I wanted to be lazy, I would just wait to the end of the week until Headbangers Ball came on and just watch the videos there. But then even then, they didn't play they didn't play everything.
I think a big part of it too is outside of that, the attitude switched slowly, it was still people would download the music, but then they were like, oh, but then I get to have more music and whatever. But I think the biggest thing is that you shouldn't have the selection of the entire world at your fingertips because it's too big. If you really think about this, when being in a band, this is so funny because everyone called me a party pooper. What's the term people always say?
Elitist.
No, not even that.
Bastard.
No, but like
Dick.
people would say, yeah, Dick. I'll like, take that one. But people would say I was just like a negative Nancy. Let's throw out some, vintage terms.
Okay.
But no, because like when being in a band and the internet started to surge with the MySpace thing. No, MySpace was great for bands, but at the same time, everyone's like, "Oh, this is the future. This is great." And I'm like, "Wait a second. Now we're competing with every band in the world." Like big, small, unsigned, whatever, people that live down the street from you are just as likely to be a fan of a local band as they are of a local band in, Nepal.
Yeah.
If they have local bands there. I don't.
I'm sure they do.
Big
sure they
music
do.
scene there.
The Shirkas thing. No, but it's just like that whole concept. It changed slowly. Where, like I said, is that people try to follow every band, and they see all their pictures on Instagram and stuff, and that kind of like that too. Like that whole concept that people are so much more open is like the magic's gone, the mystery's gone. I don't want to see Nikki Sixx like at an animal shelter. I want in my mind I want to think that he eats cocaine and hookers. Like that's it. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like. But then it really became that the fans kind of came back into like a sit back and let things come to them, which is why, like you were saying, like with the Metallica, that was like, when you had the rush on record stores and it really blew the doors off, and they literally sold so many records that they could do anything. That's how you have to get a label or whatever to push you, is you have to be blowing the doors off it.
Gene Simmons said that rock's dead. I don't agree with that, but I do agree with one thing that's a variant of that. The rock star is almost dead.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about here.
Yes, the rock star is almost dead. But without social media, without like Facebook, a lot of these lesser known, like I read I forgot who it was, some guy said, our main focus when we came out of the gates was to be this established, high profile rock band. And they succeeded at that. Now, I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, I mean, what you're saying is right, though. It's like, it's a double-edged sword, because before you had, only these bands could be popular, and then you would know this local band and you'd be like, man, I wish they were popular. And it was a whole journey to get there. But now it's like, it's cool that a band like First Class Trash can have their album available overseas. Unfortunately, it's on download sites. But, it creates a bigger profile. But what Eli's saying, that like every house down this street that we're around right now can have a band that's equally as popular, so to speak. That's the way it goes. Let's talk about a different topic here. Big Mex, what are we thinking is our next course here?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you. We all know, I guess we'll touch on this really fast.
Okay, real quick. That's why I slid
really-
the paper in front of you like that.
Yeah.
So pick the next topic.
Well, I had
so
to
we
think-
wouldn't have to have this.
I had to
transition right
think about the topic while talking and ending the other topic.
Well, I'll also blame. This is not my fault at all. So I'll also blame Eli, because he pointed out to you and kind of threw you off your. So you're on restriction, bro.
And you gave me all this time to think about a new topic.
I
like
gave you
that.
all this time.
Okay.
I waved my
you know what?
finger. I was like, "Hey, he's trying to give you a note." I don't want to be like, "Big Mex is passing you a note."
That's it. That's it. I'm taking his coffee.
We definitely don't.
You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about some kind of. I think Eli will get a kick out of this. Let's talk about Danny Warsnop from Asking Alexandria.
I hate that
Asking
fucking guy.
Alexandria.
I have a great story with
Well,
him.
hang on.
I have a great story with him.
Let me just intro this. Basically, this guy left a pretty big band. So he was in Asking Alexandria, and he had this side band called We Are Harlot. And they're like, oh, We Are Harlot. They're not very good. He left Asking Alexandria to front We Are Harlot, and now they're this huge campaign to be this huge band. Oh my God. It's like, why would you do this? And Eli, you have a story. Go.
No, I was just saying I have a great Danny story. We were, me and Kyle, plays bass in my band. We work at Hard Rock doing a stage production. And we were in that shitty elevator. If any of you have ever been back there, it's terrifying. The elevator takes forever.
I've taken that elevator.
Oh
back.
my God. And it goes slower and slower. Anyways, we get in it with Danny and his girlfriend, and all of a sudden it's like, ka-chunk, and it stops. And like we're in there full of gear, we're like, fuck. And I get a little claustrophobic. All of a sudden he like puts his arms out. He's like, don't worry, blokes. I have shitloads of cocaine.
And that's exactly why he didn't leave Asking Alexandria. They said, would you please leave Asking Alexandria? Because of
Well, that's
his...
why Howard Jones was on one of the songs, is because they were getting ready to replace him.
Yeah, they actually pretty much replaced him on that last album, and Howard Jones sang on one track, and that was kind of where they were going with it. And then he came back, and everything worked out for a while. But
He
yeah,
decided to go start NXS again.
when I covered Aftershock last year, and they requested, say, would you like an interview with We Are Harlot? And I'm like, That's okay. Thanks, though. So apparently nobody wanted to interview We Are Harlot because We Are Harlot came out to the interview tent and pushed themselves on every single outlet that was there. Their PR girl came up to me and she says, I got We Are Harlot. Would you like to interview them now? I said, no. The drummer from Chevelle's supposed to be here. In fact, here he is right now. Oh, here they are. Here's We Are Harlot. I'm like, okay. So, totally not prepared for this interview. And they were like, oh, that's okay. We're just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm thinking, thank God I'm not recording any of this, but I wish I would have recorded it because they were complete pricks.
Well, we saw them at Vinyl. They opened up for Pretty Reckless.
Yeah.
And I was excited. I was like, okay, I always like Asking Alexandria. They're hit and miss, and I wanted to hear what this sounded like. And Danny was so wasted, he barely could stand up. Then he brought Chris Cale out on stage, who really didn't want to come out on stage. And it was a train wreck. And it wasn't a train wreck in a good way. Those good train wrecks when it's just like, wow, that was a great rock show.
At Rock Vegas.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know why necessarily media outlets are giving them so much play. Well, here we are talking about them, but they're getting on all these. That's right, and they're getting on all these big shows, and I haven't heard a single person come out and just say, "What are you doing? This isn't that good."
Well, the only band to ever pull off that kind of like almost 70s, 80s, whatever vibe, and actually hit it out of the park was Hinder, and
well,
whether you like them or not, they sold a lot of records.
No, yeah, but now
their first two. I mean, now no, but they don't need to. They sold 20 million records of their first two albums.
That one song, that just off that one song alone.
Well, they had 4 hits off the first one, and then like 2 off the next. But it didn't matter. I mean, they made so much.
But they had good songs in those. That's the
for
problem.
them it was but that's the thing is
like
they keep you see labels they keep trying to reintroduce that. Like even back before Hinder, there was like Silvertide and I had another one on the top of my head that fell off, but like they keep trying to reintroduce that throwback stuff, and it's like it's always weird to me that you see all these European bands like Hardcore Superstar and Crazy Licks and Crash Diet that really do a kick-ass job of that, and they get no support, and then it's like, yeah, Danny Worsnop's got a higher voice, let's make him into.
You know what actually I think helps bands to get on a WWE show, to get on one of their soundtracks, to be the music for one of their wrestlers coming out. Adelita's Way, Nickelback. To me, that's when Nickelback really hit it out of the park. Was that one? I can't remember the name of that song, but they were on there. Now We Are Harlots on there. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get them on these WWE soundtracks and kind of like get it out.
Well, that's that Midwest thing we were talking about, like in the Midwest where rock lives. I mean, that's a what is that? Rock on the Range. That's their logo or whatever. But, that's the crowd they're going for, and they're buying albums, they're buying downloads, and I think that's why those bands play at those festivals. Same reason.
Yeah. You want to play another song or what? Yeah, I'll play another song.
Let's play another song. This is a band called Super Bob. They used to be called Bob, but I think that rapper kind of took that name away. But they've been around for a while, since 2005. They're from D.C. This is a new song called FTW, Fuck the World, from the album Killer.
We're assuming it stands for Fuck the World.
Well, if you listen to the song, you will hear the words Fuck the World.
Smart ass. You are.
That's right.
Draped in triple black, DC brand, no secret. I've been taking names, patiently waiting for the day.
Volume 11 magazine. Thank you for staying with us. That was Super Bob. That was Fuck the World off the album Killer. That's a really hardworking band. They have about 4 albums deep right now, and I heard that they play over 240 shows a year.
That's a lot of fucking shows.
That is a lot of shows. So check them out when you get a chance.
Yeah. Real quick, and just because I'm going to be a dick and correct you,
Please do.
it's volume11magazine.com. No need for a name podcast.
It was actually, yeah. Well, you didn't get it right in the first place, so I was just retaliating.
Yes, I know. Whatever, dude. So I was perusing Facebook because, of course, that's how we like to get our information, to see what's trending.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I saw, well, it's funny, and this is why it stood out to me, because the other day I was on E-Bombs World, and it said laws, that's one of those crazy laws, and one of them is there is no law against owning a flamethrower. Can you believe that? Not one law that says you cannot own a flamethrower. Not even register it.
Nice.
So today, or yesterday, I saw the first commercial flamethrower is now available for $700.
You know what? I can't really see how many times that would be usable.
I can.
But I just had a great idea, though. Road rage. Can you imagine that?
Yes. No.
Go down all those people at the strip, just light them up.
If it's tour season, why can't we shoot them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally get this. If you go to Indiegogo. Oh, yeah, I tell you what. Why don't you go to our website, and we have a page on there. It says "No Need for a Name," episode 4. All of what we talk about today, it will be up there, or at least the important points of it. And $700. That's not a lot for something that cool, huh? What do you think?
I'd buy it.
Sean, you were in the military.
Yeah. I wouldn't use a flamethrower. I don't want to smell like gas. I don't want the chance of accidentally lighting my house on fire.
That's why you go out to the desert, bro. Have a barbecue.
I'd like to use it for pulling weeds. That way I don't have to pull the weeds. I just torch them.
It's always good to have around just in case you have a spider infestation. We had one in Daytona. We had a giant spider infestation in our house. We didn't have a flamethrower, but we did use cans of engine degreaser and a lighter. But
that was flamethrower.
I'm talking about we had like several hundred spiders like in the entryway of our house, and like they were everywhere. We had a spider that had literally a body of the size of a 2x4, and I just thought it was the apocalypse and it was the end.
This was in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, in Texas, they have. We were coming back from Victoria one time. It's a little town outside of Houston, and there was all this. It looked like rocks.
Yeah.
On the road, and then all of a sudden, these little rocks were going. Boop. I'm like, what the fuck
Tarantulas?
is that? Yeah, tarantulas jumping up, straight up in the air.
Yeah, I would have crashed.
Fucking just keep going. Just keep
that's
driving.
That's like too in Florida. We had the ghost crabs would migrate, and so I was going down the freeway, and what's really scary about those is you'll lose control of your car because you'll just hit a huge crowd of them, and you'll just
ice.
Spin out, yeah.
Wow,
that's crazy.
You know what else you have in Texas? Those red hornets, cattle killers. Like they're super.
Well, they're just red hornets. They're not cattle. I've never heard them
cattle killers.
That's what my brother calls them. He lived in Texas.
Yeah, yeah. Those hornets, any hornets down there, man, are not good. Dude.
Any hornet that's like 2 inches long and bright red. It's just like,
Yeah, I'm going the other way, please.
It has a cigarette in its mouth and.
Like, what the fuck you looking at, dude?
Easy.
So would you buy something like that?
No, I told you. I mean, for
really
weeds,
would, yeah.
I spent probably 3 days, my last 3 days, pulling weeds in my yard. And if I had a flamethrower, trust me, I tried it before where I tried to light the weeds on fire. Mm-hmm. Don't do that if you have one of those covers underneath your rocks, because it will actually light that on fire.
Speaking of fire, did I ever tell you the time that I wanted to be Gene Simmons when I was a kid? Has anybody ever heard the story? No. Okay, so of course, 12 years old, I wanted to be Gene Simmons, right? So my cousins, 2 of my cousins and I, we used to dress up as Kiss. Since I was bigger, but I was the youngest, I would just bully them into letting me be Gene.
So much has changed.
Yeah. So I go to the restroom, and my mom was a smoker at the time. I got my lighter, and I had this Destroyer poster where Gene's like this, and his hair looks like it's on fire and shit. So I go into the bathroom, and my intention is to have my hair on fire like Gene Simmons. Shit. So I get the lighter, and I go, and all of a sudden, all I see is my hair go. Oh my God, and it stinks. Oh my God. I'm like patting my head. All of a sudden, what are you doing in there? It's my mom. I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm in the restroom. Open this goddamn door right now. Okay, I'll be out a little bit. typical like mom, like what the fuck are you doing in the bathroom type thing. So I let a little time go by and I don't hear her. I'm like, okay, she's gone. Me thinking that. So I open the door. She's standing right there. And the doorway's like this. The patch of burnt hair is over here. She's standing over here. My bedroom's that way. So I go like this. I kind of turn. And she grabs me from the top of my head. And she turns me. And she's like, what the fuck? She beats the shit out of me, man. Never. Since then, I've never done it again.
You've never lit your hair on fire again?
Never lit my hair on fire again.
That's a good idea.
I wish I could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just did it recently, didn't
I've
you?
done it like 3 times in the last month.
Yeah.
When you smoke and your hair is growing long and you're like half asleep and all of a sudden, poof, oh shit.
Yeah, that's not good, dude.
No, it's not.
So that's my fire story. So Foo Fighters. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll say Foo Fighters are. Have you heard they're talking about doing the Sonic Highway sequel?
I did not hear that.
And when I first read it, it was one of those teaser type things. I'm like, please don't do another one. The first one was just so great, so awesome. Don't fucking do another one. They're talking about other bands doing them in different countries, like in England where they have some awesome studios over there, or in Germany where they got awesome studios, and just different bands doing different, just keeping the series alive. And Dave Grohl says that he encourages bands to take the torch and take the baton and run with it. Just go with it. What do you think?
So each season would be a different band? Is
Each
this going
season
to
would be a
progress
different
on
band. Yeah. Each season would be a different band.
I like the idea.
I don't think there's another band that makes enough money to do that.
I don't think. But in Europe, I'm sure it can be done cheap, way cheaper than it is here.
But if they put it on, HBO,
Put it on their dime.
It's one of those things like you have to find the right band that's going to keep the interest of the U.S. watching that show. For that crowd.
What would be a good band though? Who would be a good candidate for, like, say, London, England, wherever?
See, I worry the bands that they would use for that.
I was gonna say ones that they would use are good ones, like that would be cool.
They don't necessarily have to be bands from there. It could be an American band.
Yeah.
It could be. What other band could carry that torch as well, and up to somewhat of a par of what the Foo Fighters did with the first one?
I think you'd have to probably be more of a worldwide type thing rather than just say, okay, this season's going to be in England. It's not. I don't think it's going to keep the American crowd attached to it. But maybe have a whole season of, say, 8 episodes of 8 different bands in 8 different places around the world. That, I think, to me, would be more interesting.
That's using a lot of bands, though.
Yeah, but I think it's doable.
But what other? That's the thing is, like, Dave Grohl has that weird universal
appeal.
Pretty much everyone
What
likes
is
Dave
it
Grohl.
about him, dude? I don't.
You know what?
I love the guy. Man crush from this side, man. That guy has not. He can't. Just like him and J.J. Watt. Dave Grohl can do nothing wrong.
He's one of those guys that I don't really like any of his music outside of Everlong. That's a great song, but it's never my thing. It's never like that kind of stuff. It's never been my thing.
Yeah.
But my whole thing with him is like, but then he's a guy that's, worth more money than James Hetfield, and he's walking the red carpet drunk off his ass, just drinking out of the bottle on Jameson and letting all this shit slip that he's not even supposed to talk about yet. Yeah, we're putting out a new album. This is what we're doing. They told me not to say fuck them. And it's just, you gotta love the fact that he's that down to earth. Like, my brother was actually in a bar in New Orleans just recently, and it was like last year, or something. But Dave Grohl was there, and they like shut the place down. He got up and like sang a song acoustically and paid everyone's bar tab in the bar. It was like a small place.
That's exactly
why
what I'm
people
talking
like
about.
him.
That's
Yeah.
why
It's that
people
type
like
of
him.
attitude.
It's that reason. Just, I've never heard. I'll tell you back. I've heard one bad thing about him, but it was so minute. It's like, oh,
What's that?
it was. I think this is like in Hollywood. He was doing a show at the Whiskey, and he comes out to sign autographs or whatever. Which on alone, that's fucking pretty awesome. But he said something. I heard he said something like, "Oh, what is everybody around to get a autograph from a rock star?" Something dumb like that, But whatever, it was something like that. That was.
Well,
really
he's trying to
minute.
be funny, and
Maybe he was trying to be funny.
I mean, I
Maybe
can
he was
hear
a
that
little
in a
drunk,
funny way too.
But it's true. Everybody was waiting around to get an autograph from a rock star.
Have you ever seen that stuff about where people post all the things he's done that were never like publicized? Like, there's pictures of him playing drums with like countless people, where like he just sat on the drum set, like they didn't make a whoopla. I forget. I mean, it was crazy amounts of people, and it was like all over the board bands.
Yeah.
Where like he wanted to drum on something. was like it wasn't Metallica, but for some reason that's what I'm thinking. Like there was a thing where like they didn't make any big whoopla of it, and he just jumped up and played a song with I forget all the but there's like literally lists, and they have pictures that go all the way back.
Carte blanche.
Yeah, and he'd be like, he would get up, he could do that with anyone from like Carrie Underwood to Metallica to whoever, whatever that was out there. But it was, I found a website, and it was like called Dave Grohl Off the Record, but they had all this stuff that he had done that was never publicized. That's just crazy.
Wow, that is.
Like
I'll have to look that up.
Like one of them I know is that he like sat in on the Tonight Show playing with what's the guy with the
Roots.
No, but I'm just saying, who's the guy with the glasses, bald head? Paul
Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer. Yeah, he was just up there playing drums, and they never said anything. And it was like some other person was guest, whatever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was like, has no one noticed there's Dave Grohl behind the drum set?
Yeah. Where's Anton Fig? Anton Fig's been there for 30 years.
Dave Grohl is that same type of caliber that if Paul McCartney wants to play on somebody's album, he's going to play on somebody's album, regardless if they want him on his album.
Yeah.
And, say what you will about Nirvana, but when you think about these giant bands that came along, they're kind of a generation's Beatles. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. Yeah. And he's the only one that's really kept going with it. He's the Paul McCartney of Nirvana.
And it's kind of ironic that Nirvana being the band that like killed the whole, like you said, rock star.
Exactly.
And Dave Grohl, is people call him one of the last rock stars.
But he was a rock star when he was in Nirvana. He didn't fit in that.
I wouldn't go that far.
I lived in Seattle during that, and I mean, I got to tell you, that guy towards.
Well, from our perspective, you were in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You saw it.
I just always saw that out of him. He came along later, and once they got into the third album, or the big one with him in Utero, to me, he was already a rock star, singing backup, doing all these things. I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the In Utero tour, but I did see them open for Chili Peppers, and Pearl Jam opened up also. That was a kind of a cool show to see.
Yeah.
So that died pretty quick.
Dead space. Dead space. All right, let's talk about something really cool that's cool for locals.
Yes.
Big Max.
Booze.
Fuck yeah, booze. That's all we're talking about.
Something we all know.
So yeah. So I went to yesterday. I got off work early because I didn't know that I didn't have to work. So I was like, let me see who else wants to have lunch. I like to get inspired because I like to go to places that I've never been to. I like to go to places by myself sometimes. Just no kids, no nothing, just no distractions. So somebody posted Naked City Pizza. I'm like, fucking Naked City Pizza. It's right
Good
here.
Pizza.
I didn't have the pizza.
Pizza's ridiculous.
I had the suicide fries.
Oh, okay.
All right. I had what was on the Guy Fieri show. So
how do you get Fieri out of the way you spell
it? Yeah, I used to go there all the time. It's a Buffalo joint. It's actually based.
Yeah. And it's over on Arville and
there's one on
DI.
Spring Mountain. Or no, you're right, Arville
and DI. Yeah.
Then there's another one over by the UNLV. There's two of them.
Is there a second one?
Yeah.
Huh? I didn't know that. So I go in there, and the fries were awesome. First of all, the fries were awesome. Not as maybe I have a taste. My taste for spicy stuff is a little bit different than for other people, but I thought it was just perfectly spiced. But anyway, I was talking to the bartender, and one thing that we were talking about outside.
They get good music in there.
Music is important, especially if you're in a certain mood, or if the music doesn't match the atmosphere, or the music doesn't match the attitude of the bartenders, or whatever, This place was awesome. The actual bar is called Moondoggies.
Yep.
And the waitress's name there was Jennifer. Cute girl. But it was like, huh?
Was that the waitress or the bartender?
The bartender.
She all tatted up?
I don't remember. There's 3 Jennifers there.
Oh, okay.
She's the one that talks like Paul Walker?
No.
I even told her that. That was one of them that works there. She's
I don't
like
know.
She's like a
so you're being serious. I don't know.
No, she seriously, I told her because she just talks in that same kind of, she says bro at everything. And I was like, are
Maybe.
you Paul Walker circa Too Fast, Too Furious? Like, what's going on? She was really cool, though.
So, yeah, she was just way cool, way down to earth, chit-chatty, helping everybody. She was perfect. And she came up and she goes, you want something to drink? And I was listening to Quicksand Jesus by Skid Row. And I was like, and she goes, she said something to me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I totally wasn't paying attention. I was listening to the music, and she goes, and then we just started, rattling off songs, and one of the patrons comes in, and I'm looking at my fries, or I'm doing something, and she goes, fucking awesome. And she raises up this old Slayer T-shirt that one of the patrons gave her. She goes, I can have this. And I was like, wow. She's just kind of like, I thought for a second, does she know who I am? Is that why she's showing me like this Slayer T-shirt in front of me? And no, she's just completely, random bartenders. The place is stickered up everywhere. So I said, you know what? This is probably hands down one of my favorite bars now after the first time. I got a couple other ones. I got the Sporting Life over on Jones and Robindale. Great food. I
ate there the other day. Yeah. It was and the bartender. I forgot his name. Troy.
Troy.
Yeah.
Troy. Yeah. Cool place.
Yep.
Not too dark. Not too bright. Kind of a sports booky feel. Like gourmet, like literally gourmet food. The chef there is from some fancy restaurant in Venetian. Adrenaline, the old
Cheyenne
Saloon. I like hanging out there just because it
is so cheap to drink there.
It is.
It really
and Ward,
is.
you know Ward, the bartender over there?
No.
Great guy. If you ever go over there, he works days over there, and of course Atomic Liquors. I'm sure we're gonna kind of.
That's my favorite.
Possibly
If I'm gonna
go
spend
there.
money, that's my favorite place to go to.
Yeah. What other ones you got?
I like more holes in the wall. My mail goes to Madison Avenue down on Swenson and Twain.
It's paycheck.
Your what?
My mail.
Your mail.
it goes down there. I love that place. It's right where I live, and that and Champagne Room or Champagne's Cafe, excuse me, are right next to each other over there.
Is that on Maryland Parkway?
Maryland.
That's
Yeah.
in Maryland.
I know the guy who owns that place. I've been meaning to go down
He
there.
did, the guy that just bought it.
Yeah.
He's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall, older guy.
Yeah, I just met him the other day. He secret shopped them. Like, he literally came in and ordered a drink. He wanted to see. He wasn't sure if he wanted to buy it, so he literally waited and kept coming back on every shift change to see how everyone was, and he would talk to him.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it was so funny because these people, the one bartender, he kept asking questions. She was getting on his nerves, and then she literally told the owner, this guy comes in, he's just so annoying, blah 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 blah. And he walks in and he's like, oh, this is your new boss.
Oh, wow.
She's still there.
Yeah, no, he laughed it off. He was like, of course I was being annoying. He was like, I was asking so many
testing
questions. But no, I do like those places because they're cheap. Like I said, the atmosphere. Champagne's has really fun karaoke. The guy that runs it, if you suck or you get on his nerves, he'll just hijack you. He'll shut off your mic and just finish your song for you.
That's awesome.
What do you got?
I like holes in the wall as well. Seedy kind of underworld type bars. Double
Yeah,
down.
Yeah, I know what it really is. I like to drink with dirtbags.
Yeah, I don't have to go in there and listen to freaking DJs bumping music and a good jukebox, good beer selection, and good conversation, or sometimes no conversation.
And good listening.
Yes.
You can hear other people's conversations.
But double down.
This bitch, she said to me the other day.
Yeah, you'll get the whole clientele in there is awesome. It's a great punk bar modeled after the CBGB in New York City. I don't know if people knew that, but
what's the name of that place?
Double Down.
Oh,
And
the
it's
Double
over-
Down.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What happened was the owner Moss, he did that. He designed it after the CBGB, and then when the CBGB in New York closed, he opened a Double Down in New York City. So he has one there too, and then he also owns Frankie's Tiki Bar,
Yeah.
which totally different vibe, good bar, completely.
I keep
dark in
hearing
there.
about that place.
It's pretty cool.
So many people tell me it's legendary.
It is. I don't like the seating.
I've never been there.
The chairs are kind of odd.
It's too dark in there for
It
me.
is too dark too. I don't like it too dark, man, because I don't want Nah, I'm not all
A
about
dark
it.
Yeah.
bar is better. The darker the better.
If you're meeting somebody you shouldn't be meeting, yes.
Oh,
But
never
if
mind.
if you're meeting with friends,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what
kind
do you
of a
mean?
weird-
Dark bar with sunglasses and a hoodie. They're all dark.
I'm wearing a trench coat. It's all right.
But yes, I've been to Frankie's, and it's a pretty cool place.
And where's that at?
Frankie's. It's over there on Charleston by UMC.
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy stories people told me about running into super famous people there.
Same thing at Atomic Liquors.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone was telling me about they party
Frodo,
with.
Frodo was hanging out at Atomic Liquors about a month ago, and they were like, "Oh my God, Frodo Baggins is sitting right next to me drinking beers."
He's barefoot.
The cool thing, on Double Down back in its heyday, before they got into a little bit of a trouble, they used to have one of those mechanical horses that you'd see in front of the drugstore.
Yeah.
And it was like an unwritten rule.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, if you were a woman, you got on it, and then it ended up being topless. And then I think they got in a little bit of a trouble for that. But they used to play 70s porn clips on all the TVs, and it was just a real cool.
Still
vibe
that
with
massive
different-
double-sided
Cool seedy
double-sided
place.
dildo.
Yes,
You gotta be
The
comfortable.
jukebox is probably one of the best jukeboxes in
Yes.
town. It's all punk, but
Yeah.
still, it's good.
I've heard about it. What do you got, Jamie?
I honestly, I live in Summerlin, so we don't really have real bars out there.
Bougie, very bougie.
And no, I lived all over. I lived on the east side too, but I've never been much of a bar guy. I go to music venues, and those have bars, and that's where I go. But since we've been living out here, I know there's a billion of these places. It's PT's. There's a PT's. It's really brand new. It's on Foothills location. It's Tropicana and Fort Apache. One of the coolest places. Really, really cool bartender named Carrie. Carrie is the probably best bartender I've ever dealt with. And you can't beat their prices when they have their happy hour. I mean, all the drinks are 50% off. A bunch of the food's 50% off. It's just a good time. It's way cheap.
Yeah, and they do 2 happy hours.
And they do the late happy hour, too. I think it's like a midnight to 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they have a great jukebox, too. You can pick albums. You can pick whatever you want. And, if you don't like what somebody's playing, you can put a few extra bucks in there and actually trump their selections for yours.
Oh, I did that the other day.
What a great racket, right?
Dude, somebody was at Madison had put in all this like super slow, like Marvin Gaye, like, but not like the cool songs, like the just super slow, and everyone in the bar was like, "What the hell?" So I hijacked it. I played a whole album by Death.
Death.
Such a dick. That's kind of funny, but that's not cool, bro. You can't. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can do that.
Everyone else was like, it was so funny because like all these other people never listened to Death, but like, yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thanks.
Thanks for bringing it up a little bit. All right, we're seriously out of time. So thanks again, Eli.
Thank you for having me.
Dates again. Come on. I know your
Next month, April 17th and 23rd at Fremont Country Club and Vamped, respectively.
Okay. April 17th with Otherwise at Fremont Country Club.
That is correct.
And then the 23rd at Vamped with Cage
9 and Mad Life.
There you go. What do you got going on?
Absolutely jack shit.
Nothing, huh?
That's it.
He's being
Some
the
sleep.
boss.
He's
The
being the
gatekeeper.
gatekeeper.
That's it.
What do you got going on?
I'm thinking about watching The Walking Dead later on today.
Yeah?
That's about it.
Yeah, nice. I'm no longer on internet radio.
What?
Aww.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened with that.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I'll make this as
do
quick.
I go unlock the page now?
Yes, as
Yes.
quick as possible.
I already have.
I'll make this. I'll say this. I should have known from the beginning that he was a little weird. He didn't give me any like rules or regulations. He's just like, oh yeah, you just go do what you got to do. I'm like, all right, cool. So I, said certain things, and I didn't really bash Nickelback, but I said that I wasn't a fan. So he sends me this long fucking email about how it's the hipster thing to hate Nickelback, and I can't promote my own social media on the broadcast. I'm like, what? I said, but you want me to do this, and this
For free.
for free.
But you can't even promote
Now
yourself.
I can.
But you can't have an opinion.
But I can. Yeah, I can, and I agree to broadcast for nothing. That's on me. I'm not complaining about that. But if you're not going to let me at least promote my own fucking Facebook pages, and I wasn't even. I mentioned the website a little bit, but not like go visit it. I said, I got a story from volume11magazine.com, blah blah blah, and that was the extent of it. So I'm like, whatever, dude. I'll keep that in mind. So he was like, oh, why haven't you signed up for the Twitter? I'm like, because I'm not gonna tweet.
Yeah.
Because I had told him, I said, if you want me to broadcast Monday through Friday, you're gonna have to come up with some gas money, plain and simple. Sorry, bro. That's just $30 a week. Can you do $30 a week? That's all I asked for. Oh well, we agreed on. Okay, that's cool. No worries. So, came time, it's like, hey, so you ready to do Monday through Friday? I'm like, I can't do Monday through Friday. That's not on my plate right now. I have so much other stuff. It's going to take the back burner for right now. Okay, well, you want to program 3 hours? I don't have the time to program a 3-hour show. Again, that's going to go on the back burner. Oh, do you want to, because he owns this other brand. And I was like, if I can't program a 3-hour shift, my 3-hour shift, what makes you think I can do another shift on a different channel? And then this is a straw. I posted the thing about AJ Pero.
Uh-huh.
And I posted it from a Blabbermouth. I promoted the Blabbermouth website on the station's page. Now, if you don't really know how Facebook works, sometimes when you promote other big websites like Blabbermouth or Loudwire,
Bring it back to their link.
Not just that, it'll bump you up to as far as visibility.
Yeah.
Because it shows everybody that share that link.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's why sometimes I promote Blabbermouth and Loudwire on the thing because it gives us visibility. And without me even trying to get into fucking explaining to this D-bag who's never programmed a real station in his life, I said, so you want me? He goes, I would have expected you to write an article about AJ Pero and post it on our website. Blah blah blah. I'm like, asshole. I said, you know what? I'm not. I said, you want me to be a writer? You want me to be a social media manager? You want me to be a website editor? You want me to do this, and you're not gonna fucking pay me? Fuck you. I said, you know what? From now on, if you want to continue with me, it's either going to be, and I said, you don't have to write me a long fucking Bible either. Yeah. You either say, okay, it was nice working with you, or say, okay, fine. That's all you have to put.
Big Mex don't play.
I don't. After the last fucking station I worked for, I'm not letting anybody fuck me again like the way the last people did. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Let's call it a day. He goes, well, good luck with your brand. I said, you too, buddy.
Hey, you're more than welcome to hate Nickelback on this
yeah
site.
I actually love Nickelback.
I was gonna say you're messing with the wrong guy over here.
No, you know what it is they put out some really bad albums, but I will say that Nickelback is one of the most impressive live bands you can ever see.
Live?
And they're probably one of
It's
the
the
only rock
lyrics.
bands that doesn't play with complete backing tracks.
I will say that I saw them at the House of Blues back in the day, and they were fucking loud and clear. I ended up falling asleep because I fall asleep.
It sounded so
And
good,
then, you know what?
soothing.
Next week we're going to talk about weird places you've fallen asleep at, because I've got some fucking weird places that I've passed out at.
All
Weird
right.
concerts I probably shouldn't have passed out at.
All right.
Oh, I got the story to top all of those. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty brutal.
We're gonna talk about it next week. Thanks again, guys, for coming in.
Thank you.
And I feel like whenever you have, remember in high school when the principal came to evaluate the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like with this guy here. What do you think?
Well, he was quiet most of the time. He was watching us.
Yeah.
I don't think he was asleep. He might be telling us the story about the time that he fell asleep with his eyes open for the whole time.
Yeah.
That could have been the
At a
time.
radio show, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we're out of here. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye-bye.